His Honor Yemi Kwekwe, Senior Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia, Her Honor James Hector Howard Wolokoli, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court and Chairperson of the Board of Governors, James Pierre Judicial Institute, members of the Board of Directors of the James Pierre Judicial Institute, please permit me to stand on the existing podium. Our guest speaker for today's program is a distinguished Liberian financial expert, diplomat, and international development practitioner, currently serving as Minister of Finance and Development Planning and head of the Economic Management Team in the administration of President Joseph Boakai Sr., a position he assumed in September 2024. In this role, he leads fiscal policy, budget management, and development planning, overseeing the completion and launch of Liberia's arrest agenda for inclusive development for 2025 to 2029. Our dynamic guest speaker has led the 15 counties development agendas, an effort to secure the country's eligibility and reaffirmation for the Millennium Challenge Cooperation Compact under President Trump's administration, while achieving the historic milestone of ensuring timely passage of the national budget before the fiscal year, which marks the first time in Liberia's history. Our distinguished guest speaker brings over 20 years of experience in public service, finance, diplomacy, and multilateral development institutions, with a focus on economic reform, debt relief, infrastructure development, and regional cooperation. He is a champion of transparent governance and has driven innovations such as the Public Financial Management Law, the Integrated Financial Management Information, and the adoption of international public sector accounting standards. He previously served as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Dean of the Cabinet under President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf from 2012 to 2015, where he negotiated key bilateral agreements, including US 16 million grant from China for the ministerial complex and US 15 million from Japan for the Somalia Drive expansion, while advocating for Liberia during the Ebola crisis at the UN Security Council and contributing to the African Union's Agenda 2063. From 2008 to 2012, as Minister of Finance, he spearheaded Liberia's highly indebted poor countries completion points, securing nearly US 5 billion in debt cancellation, mobilized US 250 million for the Rhyolite Bangla Guinea border route, championed the passage of the landmark PMF law, and introduced reforms including the IFMS, direct deposit payment, in the country's development fund. Earlier, our guest speaker served as Director General of the Bureau of Budget from 2006 to 2008, becoming the youngest cabinet minister at age 35. From 2020 to 2024, he served as country manager for the African Development Bank in Uganda, managing a US $2.2 billion portfolio and growing it by nearly US $600 million. He also served on the board of Ecobank Liberia Limited, chairing its audit committee from 2019 to 2022. And he was the national campaign manager for President Joseph Iwan Boakai 2017 presidential campaign. Our keynote speaker holds a Bachelor of Business Administration in Accounting and Economics, summa cum laude, from the University of Liberia, where he served as president of the University of Liberia Student Union from 1998 to 2000, representing nearly 12,000 students. He earned an MBA in Finance and Accounting from the University of Rochester, William E. Simeon School of Business, and hold executive certificate in central banking, public financial management, economic growth, and leadership from institutions including the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, Harvard Kennedy School, and Walton School of the University of Pennsylvania. He was born on April 7, 1970 in Monroeville, and is a gifted poet. The African teacher won second prize in the BBC Network African Poetry Competition in 2001. Beyond his professional and literary achievements, he is an avid supporter of soccer. He is married and blessed with 4 children. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our honorable guest speaker, His Honorable
His Honor Kpehe, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia. Her Honor James Hector Wologoli, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. Councillor Natu Oswald Twe, Minister of Justice of the Republic of Liberia. Judge Usman Fekai, President of the Trial Judges Association of Liberia, and other distinguished lawyers here present, and judges. Mr. Aliu Mamadou Dia, Resident Representative of UNDP and other development partners here present. Our distinguished graduates of the James A. Pierre Judicial Institute, Senior Counselor Pearl Brambu, the Director, Administrator, Faculty and Staff of the James A. Pierre Judicial Institute, and Honorable Court Administrator, the Supreme Court, Mr. William B. Colley, family members and friends of the graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a profound honor to stand before you today in this historic sanctuary of justice. I owe a deep debt of gratitude to the leadership of the Honorable Supreme Court and the management of the James A. Pierre Judicial Institute for extending this solemn invitation to me to serve as your keynote speaker. To stand at this podium on the ground floor of the Temple of Justice is to be reminded of an enduring truth. Great institutions are never born in comfort. They are forged in discipline, sustained by service, and measured by the impact of their results. Bound by that truth, I bring you the warmest greetings from our visionary leader, His Excellency President Joseph Nimo Boakai Sr., who remains fiercely committed to anchoring Liberia's renewal on an unyielding foundation of the rule of law. This graduation matters fundamentally because the judiciary is the final anchor of public trust. We can design the most brilliant economic frameworks and draft ambitious development agendas at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, and we can invite premium global capital to our shows. But if the rule of law is weak, if property rights are insecure, and if ordinary citizens or investors cannot count on swift, impartial justice, our entire economic baseline rests on sinking sand. For 16 years, the Professional Magistrate Training Program has served as the flagship laboratory of judicial capacity building in our country. By recruiting 64 magistrate trainees from across our 15 counties, this program systematically attempts to solve a critical structural vulnerability. The presence of untrained personnel at the fundamental tier of our courts. This program infuses qualified and competent minds into our court system in our counties, expanding the perimeter of legal coverage directly to rural and underserved populations. What makes today exceptionally historic is a profound shift in stewardship. For over a decade and a half, previous cycles of this program relied heavily on the generous interventions of our valued international partners, including the German government, GTZ, the Swedish government through the UNDP Joint Trust Fund, and the US government through USAID. But today, Cycle 5 stands as a monumental milestone of sovereign ownership. This cycle is being funded more than 90% by the government of Liberia through the judiciary's budget. This is clear evidence that Liberia is ready to pay for its own institutional progress, secure its own peace, and invest directly in the intellect of its public servants. Beyond the training itself, The government is supporting the judicial sector through concrete investments. These include the construction and completion of cycle courts across the country, support to magisterial courts in the counties, digitizing records and proceedings, and provision of logistics for judges, public defenders, and essential personnel across 15 counties. These investments point in one direction: expanding access to justice and improving the speed, integrity, and effectiveness of adjudication. Under the rule of law pillar of the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, the AID, we have intentionally matched our policy convictions with concrete budget support. We take due note and commend the leadership of the judiciary for crafting the strategic plan, which is a well-written, ambitious roadmap aimed at achieving the vision of a fair, independent, and accountable judiciary that delivers timely justice to all Liberians and upholds the rule of law. Mr. Chief Justice, we assure you that the Ministry of Finance will continue to stand with you, as we have been doing over the recent years, to achieve the goals set in the strategic plan. Those goals include expanding access to justice across all 15 counties, reducing case backlog and delay, strengthening judicial independence, ethics, and capacity, modernizing court operations with technology, and building public trust and stakeholder engagement. The Ministry of Finance will continue to be a key partner in mobilizing government and donor resources to achieve the goals and targets set in the strategic plan. We do so because we believe that translating the plan to reality are gains not just for the Chief Justice or for the judiciary. Those will be gains or are gains for the government and for the people of Liberia. As a testament to the government's abiding commitment to an effective and independent judiciary, we have increased the judiciary's budget from $18.5 million in 2023 to $33.3 million in 2026. This represents an 80% increase over a 3-year period. And we have not reached the bus stop. Within the current budget, we have earmarked funds for the construction of courts and the effective operations of courts across the country. We are funding this project because under-equipped courts cannot fearlessly defend the public interest. We are modernizing the judiciary's infrastructure to accelerate the adjudication of cases and bring dignity to the courts. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, President Barker often says, if we pretend to pay people, people will pretend to work. One principle we hold dear is that those who work in public service are making invaluable contributions to the achievement of our development agenda and must therefore be paid decently and timeously. Judges in particular are a strong pillar as they are restricted from doing other things that others can do to supplement their income. That is why when we began in 2025 to implement our multi-year plan to improve the remuneration and conditions of service of public servants, We prioritize those on the Supreme Court bench and judges of subordinate courts by restoring that remuneration package to pre-harmonization levels. We have also made upward adjustments in the remuneration of magistrates and other judicial workers. We note that we have not reached our desired destination on our journey of upward pay adjustments for public servants. What will bridge the gap between our intention and our action will be our ability to continue to grow government revenue while at the same time reading in non-priority expenditure pressures. To you, distinguished graduates of Pierre Judicial Institute, you are exiting the simulated comfort of the classroom today and will step directly into the complex crucible of public service. The public life you have chosen is one where your fondness, most honest hours may often go entirely unnoticed by the public, while a single misstep will be amplified across the nation. You must do your work exceptionally well, simply because it is right, not because it is celebrated. As I usually say, your job is simply to do your job. However, when the critics and cynics speak, do not dismiss them outright. True leadership demands that we listen. Your task as judicial workers is to learn how to separate constructive critique from toxic noise, possessing the humility to accept what is useful to your growth and the inner strength to reject what is false. Public service is a daily, unyielding test of your judgment, your emotional stability, and your courage. As your careers unfold across our leeward counties, the test of character will manifest in how you manage professional relationships and authority. Some of you will advance rapidly into higher courts, while others may progress more slowly. Those of you who will advance quickly must never look down on those who move slowly. And those who move slowly must not envy those who move faster. Through steady discipline and quiet hard work, your time will surely come. The real examination begins after the graduation gown comes off. You will face pressure from relatives, friends, politicians, community leaders, business people, and sometimes from people who will try to use kindness, fear, money, or influence to bend the law. When that day comes, remember this: the authority you carry is not your personal property. It belongs to the Republic of Liberia. And the Republic can take it from you. Through the Judicial Training Institute, you have acquired the knowledge and skills to be assigned in magisterial courts across the country. Some of you will eventually pursue bachelor's degrees, bachelor's or higher degrees in law. Whatever you will do, I urge you not to be content with being regarded as just a sharp judge or sharp lawyer. Sharpness alone is not good enough. like a sharp cutlass that could be used either to brush a farm or to murder an innocent person, your sharpness will be good for the country or bad for the country. It all depends on the character you possess. A sharp lawyer or sharp judge with integrity is a blessing to the society. A sharp lawyer or judge with no integrity is a menace to society. Also, do not punish the weak or the poor because they have no protector. And do not excuse the powerful because they have a name. The black robe, the seal, the title, and the gavel mean nothing if the person wearing or holding them has no integrity. True leadership begins with absolute self-discipline. A magistrate who obeys the rules, who respects the chain of command, and who holds himself or herself to the highest ethical baseline. First is the only one who earns the moral authority to demand compliance from the public. If we want disciplined, law-abiding citizens on the streets of Liberia, that discipline must be non-negotiable for the magistrates who judge them. Public service has seasons. What matters is whether your season finds you prepared and disciplined. Leadership also requires humility. A magistrate may command a courtroom, but every magistrate remains a servant of the Constitution, the laws of Liberia, the ethical standards of the judiciary. You cannot be good at giving lawful instructions if you are poor at obeying lawful authority. The best leaders are first disciplined followers of the law. Graduates, as I wind down my message to you, I want to charge you to pursue the following. Integrity, service, and sovereign partnership. Integrity. You will be heavily tempted. You will be offered financial inducements to look away, and you will face immense pressure from individuals who appear more powerful than you. In those dark hours of isolation, remember that the magisterial authority you wield is for the state. It's a sacred trust belonging to the Liberian people. A single corrupt ruling by one magistrate can undo years of institutional hard work built by your colleagues. Service. Your bench is not a throne of personal power. It is an altar of humble service. The vulnerable woman reporting an offense, the youth caught in the web of minor infractions, and the rural community terrified of lawlessness. These are not your operational burdens. They are the very reason your office exists. Listen more than you speak, analyze data more than rumor, and exercise your authority with absolute restraint. Third, partnership. You cannot protect the rule of law alone. The judiciary must work hand in glove with communities, traditional leadership, and the broader justice sector to prevent judicial misconduct and secure public confidence. Very few individuals carry the sovereign weight of the state on their shoulders the way judges and magistrates do. When you appear on the bench, the people must feel that the blind, impartial justice of the Republic has arrived. Carry your title with honor. your power with humility, and your duty with unyielding loyalty to the Constitution. As you raise your right hands to take your solemn oaths, let the gravity of that moment anchor your souls forever. This country does not expect you to be infallible, but it demands that you be honest, disciplined, and courageous. Do that, and Liberia will be more stable, our economy will be more secure, and the Republic will be eternally proud of you. Mr. Chief Justice and distinguished colleagues of the judiciary, in 2.5 years, we have done much. To you and the great people at the judiciary. But there is still much more. But there is still much more to be done. We have trekked miles, but there are more miles to trek. So, the critics whose eyes cannot see the progress we've made may point to the things that we have not done yet, or the miles we have not trekked yet, and may unfairly say nothing has happened. But no matter what they say, what is clearer than crystal is that the judiciary President Joseph Newman Walker met on January 22nd, 2024 is not the same judiciary that we see today. Today, we can point to many indicators that have changed for the better. Yes. So, for the judiciary, and as it is the case for the whole country, today is better than yesterday. And based on the positive work of the leadership and members of the judiciary, backstopped by the unswerving support of the president and the government, the judiciary's tomorrow will be better than is today. And its day after tomorrow will be better than is tomorrow. Again, congratulations to the graduates of Cycle 5 of the Professional Magistrate Training Program, the Pierre Judicial Institute. May God bless you. May God bless the judiciary. May God bless the government and people of Liberia. And may God bless the Republic of Liberia. Thank you very much.
That was the voice of the Honorable Finance and Development Prime Minister, Honorable Augustine. He said as the keynote speaker at the Kpehe Judicial Institute 5th graduate class Professional Magistrate Training Program, Cycle V.